Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about the astrological energies this week that are about mental decluttering so that you can see your path forward or find your future. And we'll do a tuning for that as well to help us to declutter, help us to become calm and tune into our intuition and inner guidance to find that future and just to calm our minds so we can hear our spirit and know the future, right? Know our path forward, our next steps to take. So I'll read to you from moonreading.com this morning. It says, this week, a visionary last quarter moon in Aquarius rises on May 9th. And it's pulling your gaze away from your past and locking it onto something on the horizon. Something is racing toward you. You haven't seen it clearly yet, but you've felt the shift in the air. Aquarius energy doesn't care about where you've been, it cares about where you're going. And under this lunation, you're being asked to picture the next chapter of your life in vivid detail. Who are you in that future? Where do you live? Who surrounds you? The clearer you can see it and the faster it will arrive. And right now, the universe is showing you a glimpse that you can't afford to ignore. So imagine yourself watching your life from above, seeing the patterns that are invisible from inside the story. So where are you repeating the same dynamic with different people? What choices keep producing the same outcomes? What invisible rules have you been following without ever consciously agreeing to them? Mental clutter is more invisible than other forms of clutter, but it is no less limiting. The half-finished thoughts, the recurring worries, the running commentaries that critique your every move, all of these take up space that could be holding clarity instead. So practice mental decluttering this week with the same rigor you might apply to a closet that has not been organized for years. So I'm going to go ahead and read more of the moon, sun, and star energies, and then we'll come back to this idea of decluttering for a little bit. So I got some tips that might help you. So the moon is in Scorpio. Oh, but it goes into the Aquarius energies on the 9th. I was just being confused a little there. So Sunday and Monday, it says were more higher emotionally intensive, and it was time for letting go of emotional weight or habits that no longer serve you. And so now from the 5th through the 8th, we'll start to feel a shift from wanting to explore the big ideas to wanting to organize and structure them so that we can work with them or see the path. And then on the 9th, the moon reaches its last quarter half moon, and that energy focuses on taking an honest inventory of what is actually working in your life. And the sun energies this week, the theme is stability, persistence, and physical comfort. So the sun is in Taurus, and so that's very grounding energy and encourages you to focus on tangible goals like finances, home, and life, and your physical body, and doing life at a steady pace. And all these tie into that decluttering thought of like this with the working on focusing on tangible goals of finances or home life, and to help you gain that clarity. And then the star energies, there's two major shifts. So there's Pluto retrograde, which begins tomorrow, or I should say on Wednesday, and it begins a long-term inner audit. I can't remember, there's like 5 or 6 months, I think maybe. It might be longer that Pluto stays in retrograde. So you may feel a pull to look back at major changes you've experienced recently and process them on a deeper or more private level, just to see where you're at with those. And then the next thing there's Mars is in a square off or with Jupiter, and that happened yesterday. And it says that caused the high friction aspect of energy that brings a surge of ambition, but warns against overextending yourself. So even today, there might be some of those energies that are more intense. So check your foundations before making any big leap. And Mercury is in Taurus. So make your conversations very clear and practical to help with communications. It's an excellent week for negotiating or for clearing up misunderstandings. And so the mental decluttering can help with all of those things, right? As we calm our minds, as we calm that energy, that fight or flight response causes, that dissonance in the corpus callosum, the tissue that connects the two hemispheres of our mind. So as we can ground into earth energies and calm that, and then we'll be able to hear more our spirit. It calms that's part of the mental decluttering, of calming your mind so you can hear your spirit and release those things that you need to and see your path forward. And so I wanted to talk just a little bit about decluttering. Since I'm learning feng shui, and I am certified in a portion of it now, and should be fully certified by this fall. Hopefully, that's my goal. And so anyway, I've learned a bit about decluttering that might help us with this. First of all, for decluttering your mind, decluttering your home helps declutter your mind, because our homes represent us. And all the areas of your life are represented in the 9 life areas of your home. And this is all within what is called the BAGUA map, the BAGUA map, that we position over your home in such a way so that it shows in each of our homes, beginning at the front door, the wall that holds the front door, and how that holds the 9 life areas. And you can maybe see which area of your life needs more decluttering by which area of your home has the most clutter in it. But don't rush out and find that biggest place of clutter, and don't rush in there with your trash bags to throw everything away and stuff it in there, because we're attached to our clutter. We've gathered all the clutter because of emotional patterns. We have an attachment to things that are represented those items that we held on to. And so just going into a room and throwing it all in a bag and throwing it out isn't necessarily the most helpful thing to do, because it can cause that fight or flight response in you to say, those things we held on to, those patterns that we're used to, that our mind thinks now works for us because it has formed those patterns, and getting rid of them all of a sudden can cause your mind to clutter back up. So that's getting rid of everything isn't the first goal of feng shui. And in fact, the things that you could do that would make you the easiest is go to a place that you work in daily, or that say it might be your kitchen, or it might, for me, it'd be my desk here. Things when I'm having trouble starting to think about what to do next, or what to put in my social media posts, or what to talk about, I often start with decluttering my desk, and it's just sorting the papers or rewriting the notes. One of my problems I have, I try to write things down. It's probably my old school stuff, but I try to write things down to not forget them, or to keep them in the back of or even to release those things from my mind, and make a schedule for each day or the week. And then then I cross things off as I go. But the problem is then I write more notes before I've crossed everything off the next, and I get a bunch of notes. And eventually, after a few days, I have to sit down and combine them all back into one note to move forward on. And so I start working on that, and a little bit of decluttering, making sure the papers that aren't just laying in a big file. It's very helpful to get yourself a vertical file, because more clutter happens when we just pile things on a pile instead of having organized in, say, like I use a vertical file that I can store my folders in, and then I place the folders in the vertical file, and it helps declutter my mind as well as decluttering my desk. So start with something simple, and that will help you then when you've organized that to a small extent. You don't have to go all out to get it completely clean for it to help. It'll start helping you working on that decluttering right away. And then take a few moments just of calm and deep breathing, of inhaling deeply through your nose and holding it, and then exhaling slower than you breathe in, making a noise, because that helps release tension. And we'll do that here to start with before we start our tuning session for today. And so let's just take a couple deep breaths here and hold it. Exhale. Hold it as you've emptied your breath. Hold it again for a second or two before you inhale again. And then inhale, hold it. Hold the emptiness. And inhale again. I'm going to do it one more time. And thank you for doing the breathing with me. I needed it this morning. I had some cluttering, and it's not always bad stuff that causes mental cluttering. I received really wonderful news yesterday. This fall, I'll be a speaker in a summit, and I'm really excited about it. But my mind's starting to go over and over of preparing for it. And so that's went through my mind when I was sleeping. So I spent time during the night doing breath work, doing, can't remember the name of the exercise where you hold your different fingers, and that calms your meridians and helps take you out of fight or flight. And I do Psych K to help me get out of fight or flight in different ways. And many modalities are very helpful. Just the sound that we'll have this morning of the calmness will help. And so let's get started on it. And we're going to do more calm. We're going to start with the 222 to help release what's causing the mental cluttering, to help remove the dissonance from the corpus callosum that connects the hemispheres of our mind, so that communication can take place faster and more fully and more in alignment, so that we can hear our spirits, hear those needs and guidance of our heart and spirit. Remember to continue that deep inhales and slow exhales as we tune. This is the 174. It's more kind of like an all-purpose fork. It's very good at drawing away pain. It's easier to hear the tones of the fork and hear the emotions or thought patterns behind it. I can feel it in me, calming and quieting, more acting on the 222 that I was using before and continuing that in across my mind and in my body. And now we're going to clear for some ancestral patterns that cause all that dissonance in our minds and the decluttering. We carry generations of clutter in our minds, generations of the old patterns that form the clutter that cause the dissonance within our mind. Just asking the ancestors to release. To release all that they can release today. I find that the ancestors in the oneness are always ready to help us, always ready to give their support and guidance. To hold our intentions with us. I find that although it's us making the decisions in this life, the ancestors walk with us. And as we release their patterns as in us, it helps them and us and our children and the universe. And we're going to go now, dig deeper. Hey, 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 hey. I just felt the release inside my heart. Thank you. And we'll pause here and ask for angelic feng shui from the angels of the oneness to help clear that clutter from our minds and our life. So that we can see the path forward. Going back to the 144 here, to clear more. Now we'll work with the 432 here for harmony and healing of those old patterns, of healing our minds from inflammation that the dissonance in the energy can cause. Now we'll tune our third eyes for intuition. Going to clear the inner brain and the inner brain crystals and the pineal gland. I hope you can feel the calming in your tissues like I can. I can just feel my forehead relaxing. I'll go to the 532. DNA repair is what it's said to be very helpful for, to clear those old patterns, to move them out of our biofields, release them from attachment to us, release them from their blocking our divine flow. And calming here and creating a clear space between our energy and the edge of our field so we can communicate with the universe more fully. I feel tension more on my back, the back of my shoulders, tops of my shoulders, and back of my heart. So we'll work on that area right now. And if you feel the need to wiggle like I'm doing, please wiggle. Let those blocks, those energetic blocks clear. To help our bodies, let them clear from our energy flow, to clear our mind. Okay. Going to do some figure eights here to bring, again, communication and coordination within our energy systems. Connecting us to source, from our solar plexus to the source, our source of light and power, to the source of all. So if you would hold your intention like usual, whatever intention you want, perhaps for mental decluttering, to see that path forward that you need. And I'll amplify that in those intentions as I zip up your energy and mine, from foot to crown, to connect us, to protect us from negative energies and mindsets, and to connect our ascending flow with the joy of the ancestors and the angels and the oneness. And so it is. It is done. This is our word. We give thanks. And I'll catch you next time. Tomorrow, my podcast is the Oracle reading for the month of May. So hopefully you can tune into that, and hopefully it would offer some guidance or encouragement for you. So I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.